going to move on to the next slide here in just a second. Mutual of Omaha, obviously I touched on that. You want to have one of those. Aetna, you want to have one of those. They're just valuable pieces about Aetna. American Amicable just has competitive rates. So these carriers, these are really the phase ones that you need to have. Again, just going back to it, AIG, guaranteed issue, takes a credit card or a bank account. Prosperity takes a credit card, Direct Express card, and has a voice signature for people who can't voice sign. American Amicable, Aetna, and Mutual of Omaha, why you need to have one of the three of those is having to do with, again, competitive pricing, having to be able to shop multiple carriers for a customer to make them feel like they have choices, and then also the liberal underwriting that these carriers have. Liberal meaning more accepting of pre-existing conditions. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, if you haven't noticed already, Smith & Yonnes does have a YouTube channel. That YouTube channel is going to have recordings of trainings that maybe you've already completed and you want to go back and visit. It's going to have the recordings of carriers that have come on and gone over their products. I would highly recommend subscribing to that channel so that every single time we post a new training video or a new valuable piece of information on there or a new carrier video, you'll get notified and that you'll be able to go ahead and watch that video. So you can go right to the final expense quick reference sheet, click the SNL YouTube channel tab, and then there's the link to that channel, and you can bookmark that, or just visit the quick reference guide every time you need to find your way there. Again, highly recommend subscribing to that channel so you get notified of new content. Okay, quoting and CRM training. Now, obviously, the training that you go through to onboard with us includes that quoting and CRM training. If you want to go back and you want to revisit that, and you want to, continue to familiarize yourself with these tools, there's links right to those videos on the quick reference sheet. You'll find when you visit the Smith & Yonnes YouTube channel that there's the video on there that I did that goes over each one of those, so you can check those out. Those training videos that you'll see right on the quick reference sheet, those are directly from the provider of that software. So Insurance Toolkit did their own video. There's a link to it right there. The phone system, Ringy, they did a training video themselves, a demo video. There's a link to it right there. Again, you can visit the YouTube channel again if you want to continue to familiarize yourself. This also gives you a link directly to those portals. So you want to bookmark those. You also want to make sure that you have your username and password saved for those. So if you want to, again, copy that, post that into your own spreadsheet or into your own Word document, and then just organize yourself, that's the format right there. Obviously, the customer service number for Ringy is there, and the customer service contact for Insurance Toolkit is there. You got to reach out via email. Once I get the heads up from you guys that you have the phase one carriers, at that point, I'll be sending you out a free trial to the Ringy so that you have the opportunity to get that in place, and we get you set up so that we can start loading leads in there. So really waiting on a cue from you on when you have those phase one carriers all approved. Again, AIG, Prosperity, one of either Aetna, Mutual of Omaha, or American Amicable. Be on the lookout for those carrier approvals through your email. Once you have that checked off, you reach out to me. I'm going to send you a free trial invite. We'll get you registered. We'll get that thing set up, and then we'll get the leads loaded in there. Okay. Here's another piece that I don't know if you guys have taken a look at yet. If you haven't got the invite to Slack yet, please send me a message in the chat or send me an email, and I will get that invite sent out to you so that you can get in there. A lot of good information on here that I need you guys to start to get access to. There's different channels here. So you see the channels, announcements, general, leads, product brochures, sales scripts, sales training. A lot of the information that's also on the final expense quick reference guide, I have posted here. And what's nice is that you can actually download them from here. So if you want the carrier login, template, you'll be able to, I believe it's under the new agents channel. you definitely want to visit the New Agents channel. There's a lot of good materials in there you can download and utilize for yourself. I highlighted here the underwriting tools channel. When you're in real time and you're speaking to a client and you have a question about, where to place a piece of business, what I would do is I would go into that underwriting tools channel and I'd post my question in there. And a lot of the other agents are monitoring that, especially the more experienced ones and the MGA agents, the managing general agents, and they'll get back to you and let you know what experience they've had and give you a recommendation of what they think you should do. Obviously, you have the Insurance Toolkit quoting software, which is really designed to help make this process really simple and remove all the guesswork out of where to place business. But if you're still having questions and still having issues, pull up Slack. You should have this on your computer. You can download the app onto your phone, hit that underwriting tools channel, and then type in a message right there, and you'll get a response back to help guide you through that process. So really valuable information here, guys. This is the watering hole for the organization. If you're not in there yet, get registered, get logged in, send me a message in the chat, send me an email. If you don't have the invite, I'll get that out to you right away. Okay. Want to talk to you about a lead matching bonus that we're going to offer you guys for the very first week to help you hit the ground running. Essentially, we'll offer you a lead matching bonus up to $250 from leads from the Smith & Yonnes lead marketplace. What our recommendation is to buy 10 exclusive real-time leads. They'll be $25 each, which will cost you $250. We then match you another 10 leads or $250 worth of credit, so that you get 20 real-time exclusive leads to go to coincide with your 30 free bonus leads. I can tell you right now that if you follow that bonus, if you purchase those 10 leads and you let us match you with another 10 leads, and coupled with the 30 free bonus leads you're going to get, you will write a piece of business your first week. So I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to people that have been with an IMO for 6 months. They haven't submitted a deal yet. I'm going to put you in a position to submit a deal your very first week. So if you need more information on that, you want to ask questions about that, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call. We'll talk about it. Okay, so that's the end of that slideshow. So what I wanted to do now is I wanted to go ahead and open this up because I want to talk to you guys about questions that you have in your head that you're thinking about, that you feel like you need more information on. This is an opportunity for us to touch base on everything that we've covered so far in the training, as far as, overview of what final expense is, how to offer it, who it's good for, which carriers, talking about the Insurance Toolkit training, talking about the phone system training, talking about the sales script, the sales rebuttals. Guys, I really want you to think, and I really want you to, engage here with me and tell me what concerns you have. What are you having anxiety about? Because again, this is a new process for you. I know anytime somebody's starting something new, there's anxiety. It's totally normal. This is an opportunity to have an open forum here. Let me speak to some of those anxieties. Let me do my job and try to relieve some of that for you, because you're going to have a lot of support here. You're going to have access to converting leads. This is a good system for new agents coming on that haven't done this before. So, raise your hand. Let me know if you've got anything you want to start out with. Dean, I see you raising your hand there. Go ahead. Just make sure you unmute yourself.
Hi, Spencer. How you doing? Hey, first off, I want to mention to you, I did get my Florida state, so that all went through.
Fantastic.
No, I tell you what, I've looked at a lot of companies, and I've got to give you guys the hands up for being on top of the training, everything like that. I'm very impressed. I think the only thing that concerns me, or was two things actually, it's twofold, is building confidence with the customer. So this website that we're buying the lead, is there any way that we can visit that website so we're familiar with how these people are coming to us?
Sadly, there's probably 1,000 different landing pages that are all formatted in different ways. So I don't necessarily have one specific landing page that I can reference. But here's the simplest answer to that: is that more or less they're going to go to a website that's branded for final expense, right? So it's going to result from them clicking on an ad either through Facebook or a Google banner ad or just from a search engine that had to do with final expense. They get driven to a very generic website. Again, it'll have, little fluffy pictures of a husband and a wife holding hands in their 60s walking on the beach, that kind of stuff. And it have a very basic form of like, if you want to quote, put your name in here, put this in here. Really, what's going to help you build confidence with these people.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I lost you for some reason. There you go.
We lost you.
What?
Yep.
Hey, Spencer, we lost you there.
Spencer, we lost you.
Yep, I'm
We
back.
lost your audio.
I'm back. What was the last thing you heard me say?
About building confidence with the customer.
Okay, and then did you hear me talk about the Department of Insurance?
No.
No.
No, okay. All right, so what's really going to build confidence for you is the fact that you'll be able to reference overall that they went online and they requested a quote, through one of our landing pages, one of our advertisements. And then that information is now getting shared with you and transferred to you because you're licensed in their state. You're licensed by the Department of Insurance. You've gone through a very strict vetting process to make sure that, you're the type of person that should be handling this type of situation. You don't necessarily have to, referencing the exact website that they went to, because I can almost guarantee you they probably went to more than one website anyway, as people are looking around. So don't worry too much about, being able to reference specifically where they went. Just reference that they went online looking for a final expense quote. And once that information was submitted, it's transferred over to you because you're licensed by their state to assist them with this process. The other thing that you can do that's a huge credibility builder is have a copy of your state license certificate. So when you get approved by these states, there is a certificate that they're either going to mail you or they're going to email you, and you want to have those handy and have those saved because at the worst case, you can volunteer that information to a client and essentially email that over to them in real time so that they can see and verify that you actually are licensed. So there's a website, nipper.com. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. That will allow you to download your license certificate if you don't have a copy of it. So printing your license, perfect. So take a look in the messages. I just posted that in there. And if you've got, 1 or 2 states, or even if you've got 10 states, go to those sites, download those certificates. At the bare minimum, download your resident license. So if your resident state is Texas or Missouri, have at least your Missouri certificate. My recommendation would be to have every certificate for every state you have that handy and be willing to volunteer that information if need be. The other tactics that I shared with you guys on the trust building and the confidence building is calling into that. There's no substitute for human interaction. You do that conference call, guys, into the Department of Insurance with these people. They can't believe that you're willing to do that for them. They're shocked at how, trust, you get so many compliments from these people when you're willing to do that. So if you are having a trust issue, again, email them a copy of your license. Be willing to call into the Department of Insurance and verify exactly who you are. Those two things are huge credibility builders for you. The insurance industry, I always tell people, it's one of the most highly regulated industries in the country. Even something as simple as screwing around back in your college days and getting citations for, maybe drinking too much and being disorderly, that's something that can keep you from getting a professional license. That's something that will prevent an insurance company from offering you an appointment. Because the first step, you got to get approved by the state. The second step is passing background checks with the insurance companies. Mutual of Omaha, if they take a look at your background and you've got, things that have happened to you, either, physical violence or financial crimes, they don't want you representing their company. So you've gone to 2 very strict vetting processes as far as the state and then also the insurance company who has a reputation to protect. And both of them have checked you out and said that you're somebody that is trustworthy and somebody that they want to represent them, that is a huge vote of confidence that these people can piggyback off to help make them feel confident doing business with you. Do you guys all have that recording? Did everybody listen to that recording when I called into the Department of Insurance?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to find, I don't have a way to publish that, but I'll work on that just so that, that doesn't get lost in your email inbox. And if you ever want to revisit that because you found yourself in a situation where it's like, heck, Spence told me I should use that. And I had somebody, and I know that the only reason why they didn't sign up with me was because of trust, right? That's what you guys are going to battle. You are going to battle trust.
Yep.
Because, the leads are good. These people are going to be looking for this policy, and, you're going to go through the quoting software. You're going to find them something that sounds affordable, and they're going to tell you that they need to think about it. That's totally normal. The reason why they need to think about it, guys, is two reasons. It's either they can't afford it or they just don't trust you yet. And it's going to take one more call, maybe two, in order for them to have enough confidence to submit business with you. So, I definitely use that tactic that if I've gone through the process and I've quoted them and everything makes sense and they're telling me that they need time to think about it, I say, listen, something that I do for a lot of my clients just to make sure that they know who they're doing business with, and that I'm just not to make sure that I'm not just another voice over the phone. I'm going to conference us in. I don't even ask them. I tell them. I say, I'm going to conference us in with the Department of Insurance, and I'm going to have them verify for you exactly who I am so that you can feel more comfortable doing business with me. So bear with me just 1 second. Let's complete that conference call right now. And guys, I'm going to show you on a screen share right now exactly how you do that on your CRM. Okay. Okay, so you guys can all see this. There's a phone right here. Okay. So with this phone, and I'm just going to call myself. And there's two other features here, guys. If you want to record your calls so you can review them later, you can do that right here. For agent coaching, what this will do is when I send you out an invite, I can actually listen to your calls right in real time if you have that turned on. So that's up to you if you want to turn that on or not. Let me just place this call. All right, so you can see that there's an option here to add a conference call. Just answer this real quick. Okay, so now that call's there, I have the option to add a conference call, right? So this is where you would type in the phone number that you want to conference in. And remember, I put all of those phone numbers to the Department of Insurance right on here. You click the tab DOI phone numbers. Here they all are. Here's the Florida Department of Insurance number. You can copy that. Come right back over here. Paste it in here. I would get rid of these just because it might confuse the system. And now that button's lit up. All you have to do is click that button. And now you and the client are going to call the Department of Insurance. Okay? So pretty simple process there. What else do you guys have? That's a big one. I'm glad you asked that question, Dean. It's confidence is the biggest thing, man. It's what this is all about, building trust. Gene, go ahead.
Okay. The phone, the ringy, is just the area code where they, California, Arizona, whatever. Do you, is this the same number every time?
So here's what's cool about this software. Let me share this tab instead. You'll see in the phone setup, when we get you set up and squared away, you'll have the ability to get more than one phone number. You can get a phone number for every single state that you are licensed in and buying leads in. So whenever you call somebody in that state, it'll automatically use the local number so that when you're calling them, it's a local phone number. You see this here? It says, yes, you can. Does local ID work automatically? Yes. So if you want to have more than one phone number, you can. It is $1 per number. So instead of being $99 per month, let's say you got 5 numbers, it'd be $104 a month. But yes, you can have a local presence. And I'm glad you asked that question, because if you are calling leads in more than one state, you'll have a better answer rate if you have a local number. So that can certainly be helpful.
Now, the 3 numbers, you call, you don't get an answer. You call again, you call again.
Yep. So if you call the first time and you don't get an answer, absolutely. You want to call them 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would call a lead at least 3 times the first day.
Okay.
Be mindful. This is something for any of you that have Florida leads. You cannot call somebody more than 3 times a day in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Okay. That's a rule in the state of Florida. No more than 3 phone calls per day. But absolutely, if I get a new lead and I don't reach them the first time and I don't reach them the second time, I'm calling them at least 3 times.
Just in a row.
Not necessarily in a row.
Okay.
I might just call them 2 times in a row, and then I might wait a little while. Maybe it's not, I'm just trying to catch them at the wrong time per day,
Right.
and I'll call them a couple hours later.
Okay. Thank you.
But what you alluded to there is something called the double tap. It's a method called double tap. That means you call them once. If they don't pick them up, you call them again. That's a double tap. So that's a very effective marketing strategy.
Spencer, I got a question in regards to that as well.
Yep.
So if we're calling, let's say a live lead, okay? Let's say they don't answer their phone. Does it automatically send like an email like we discussed earlier to them that we're trying to get in touch with them?
Not on a missed call, but it will send automatic emails just over a certain amount of time until you engage. But I think there is a way to do that. There is a way to do that. I have this set up so that it's virtually turnkey, that
Okay.
It has all those drip systems, but you can absolutely improve on this and customize this to make it even better than it already is. Something that'll be really valuable for you. You guys can see the phone system, right? Yeah. Right down here, there's this tab that says FAQ/training. If you click that and then you come over to this training tab, there's a ton of training videos in here that'll teach you how to do that kind of thing. So basically what it is that you'll have a disposition tag that you'll be able to use. And a disposition tag will be something like, no answer, voicemail. So when you call somebody and they don't pick up, you'll be able to disposition tag it as voicemail. And then you can set up an automatic email to go out from there. So let's see, we'll take a look at it right now. So under account settings, manage account, here's the disposition tags. Voicemail is one that I already have. So what I can do is I will set up an automatic workflow, automated action they call it, that anytime I disposition something as voicemail, it's going to do something specifically. So you can see I can call this voicemail email, right? And then what I want it to do is I want it to send an email. Email subject, sorry, I missed you. Right? You guys can all see this, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry I missed you. Put in a message that's kind of custom, whatever the case may be. Call me back. Definitely do better than this. I'm just doing this quickly so that we can move forward. Save it. So now there's a workflow called voicemail email. So I'm going to go back over to my disposition, which is called voicemail. I'm going to click this little pencil. And then you see that I can add an automated action. Select automated action, voicemail email, update. So now every time I disposition a lead as voicemail, it's going to automatically send that voicemail email.
Okay.
Okay. So, again, this CRM, this phone system, guys, I've been in the telemarketing space for a long, long time. I've never found a platform that was more intuitive and user-friendly and easy to use than this platform. It's designed specifically for people that don't have a background in IT. Most dialer systems, you would never be able to do it this easily. You would either need help from them to build it, or you'd have to read the manual and figure it out. It's just boom, boom, done. I fixed it myself, and now it's already working. It took me less than a minute, and now the next time I make a phone call and disposition voicemail, I'm already doing what you just asked me to do, Dean.
Yes, very nice. Very nice.
So that's just an example of why this CRM does. I mean, again, at $99 a month for this, that's the
That's
other
cheap.
thing. I can't believe the price.
That's cheap.
I have to applaud these guys. They have a great system here. And until I build my own that's better than this is what I'll be recommending every single person.
Spencer, I've got to say, and again, not to toot your guys' horn, but I've been with a couple of companies and I look at how they do their platforms and stuff. And I'm not going to mention their names. You guys are definitely on top of stuff. This is going to make my brain swell doing all this work I got to do, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I know. And there is, there's a lot of setup here in the beginning. You
Yep.
got to learn all these new products. You got to learn a new phone system. You got to learn the universal quoting tool. You got to learn the sales script. But I can tell you the guys that are already in this system, dude, it's like breathing. They don't even have to think. They get their leads. They call their leads. They text their leads. People call back. They sign them up. They get paid, and they just do it over and over and over and over again. And you get to work from anywhere on your own time. I mean,
Hey, let's face it, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, and it's definitely, as sales always is. It's going to be
Yep.
a numbers game. But it's about having a process that you don't get burned out on. That's the key. And This is
Yes.
not a process that a lot of guys are getting burned out on because you have the automation to help you do a lot of this.
I agree.
So glad we're touching on the phone system here more and more. And obviously, once you get your phase one carriers in place, we're going to have to spend some time setting your account up. So you'll get more training on this and more time with me on this as we get your phase one carriers and I send you out your invite and we sync up your account.
Very nice.
Anything on the quoting tool, guys?
The only thing I can think of is you really got to get familiarized with who does e-apps and who does all the different various programs. And I guess that'll just come with a little bit of time of what carrier does what.
So, why don't we just go ahead and do one of these? Okay, let's do Mutual of Omaha. Let's say that, we did this whole quote, right?
Right.
And they want to move forward with Mutual of Omaha. So what I'm going to do, I'm literally just going to click this button. Let me think for a second. Can I do a mutual? I think I can. Yes. Okay. So here's where it's going to bring me. Again, you have to have your account set up. You see that button right there that says sign up? If you haven't set up your Moo account yet, you'd come to this page, click sign up, and then as long as you have your producer number, you'd be able to register. So you guys need to be doing that, getting that stuff set up. You don't want to have it be on your first quote, and then they go with a certain carrier, and now you go to try to log in, and you're like, oh my God, I forgot to do this one. And then you're kind of small talking them as you're registering everything. So, obviously mine's all set up. So I click sign in. It brings me here. So Mutual of Omaha has a two-step authorization. So essentially right now I'm getting a ping on my cell phone asking me if I'm trying to log in. And they use an app called Okta. You got to send the push. I'll get a little tab. Yes, it's me logging in. Then it verifies that it's me. It also gives me a code on my phone if I wanted to just type the code in instead. Okay, once you get here, this is the sales professional access. They call it SPA. So you'll hear the agent services team at Mutual of Omaha will say, anything you need is on SPA. Okay, SPA. What in the heck is SPA, man? It's the sales professional access. So you scroll down. Under sales tools is electronic application. Medicare supplement e-app, dental insurance, long-term care. One of them is going to be life insurance. That's right. Yeah, my login, I actually don't have access to the life insurance, but this is how you would get there. And then all you have to do is click start or continue e-app, and then you'll be able to go through the process. Again, right on this quick reference tool, under the application training, this is where you're going to want to use this link right here for Mutual of Omaha and see the steps on how to go through the application. Okay.
Gotcha.
But that's how you would go right from the insurance toolkit directly into an application. You click that button, you log in, make sure you've registered your back office ahead of time, and then you follow those steps to get to the electronic application and then start, all right, ma'am, I got your first name here is, Mildred, your last name is Smith. Date of birth is going to be January 1st, 1952. Address is 123 Main Street, Timbuktu, Tennessee, 04070. Is that all correct? And you're typing it in, as you verify that information with her.
Now, Spencer, since we're on the phone with the customer, verifying what we're putting in, how important is that? I know we got to have everything has to be very accurate, but is there any way for the customer to see this information, or is it just pretty much just, what is that?
They're going to see it when they do the e-signature.
Okay.
So, sadly, what may happen occasionally is you do make a mistake. You send out the e-signature and they're like, you didn't spell my name correctly, Dean.
Gotcha.
You
Right.
Mildred, not Milton.
Not everybody's Smith either.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you miss a letter here and there. So they review that application. If it's not correct, essentially what you then have to do is go back in and edit it and then send out the e-sign again. Pretty simple.
So that e-app will be like on their phone, I guess. You're going to, once you start the e-app, it sends something to their phone, I guess, to verify.
Usually it's going to be by email. So
Okay.
They can definitely, if they have a smartphone, they can sign on their smartphone. Ideally, they'd be on either an iPad or a desktop computer.
So you can still do this live. So they can be watching what you send to them and then just rock and roll.
Yeah, they're just going to, they're not going to see you filling out the application, but once you fill it out and send it out by e-sign, they're going to see everything that you just input. Yes. And they're going to verify it's correct. And then as long as everything is correct, the price matches up, the benefit matches up, all their information, boom, they click a couple buttons and that signs the application for them. Again, if they're having problems, you have the customer support number for Mutual of Omaha. They have a team that will help you walk them through that during the tech support. And then also, if there's just no way that they're going to be able to complete this e-signature, that's when you pivot to, the Prosperities of the world, the Aetnas of the world. Prosperity's got a voice signature. Aetna looks like is not an option for them. It's here, but you can see that's modified, right? See how expensive it is?
Right.
So it's not really, I wouldn't move someone to a modified plan because they couldn't complete the e-signature. They're going to pay $100 more a month than they have.
Yeah.
What I would do is I'd either try to pivot to, a Prosperity where they can do a voice signature, or I would try to get a family member, preferably a grandson who can fly through it. Something like that, before I try to convince them to spend an extra $100 a month.
Right.
Because they have problems with an e-sign. Do you guys want to take a look at the sales script again? That might be helpful.
Sure.
Tom, you had a question earlier. I saw you raised your hand earlier.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, go ahead, Sandra.
I've been trying to get appointed to AIG. Yeah, and I am here in my Sure LC thing.
Yep.
and it's not showing. I mean, I already submitted applications for all of them, but AIG, I don't see it here in the select carrier request type thing. I don't, or unless is under a different name.
So inside of the Sure LC, you don't actually have to do any of those contract requests. We handle all of that for you. So
Oh,
I've
you did?
already requested your contract for AIG. Let me go ahead, and while I have you on the phone, while I have you on the meeting here, I'll log in and I'll check to see if I have an update at all for you and see if that's been accepted. But obviously you haven't received an email welcoming
No.
you to the AIG family.
Really? No. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Let me check and see if I see anything on my end.
Oh, okay.
Check
I
and
didn't know you did it for
see
me.
if you see anything.
I actually submitted applications for most of them.
Okay, you may have done that unnecessarily. It's okay. It doesn't really,
Easy.
you just did a little bit more work than you had to. I'm sorry. So let's see. FIGUEROA. FIG. FIGUEROA.
Yeah.
Okay. Search. Okay. No records found yet. So what you can definitely do is if we go back here to this final expense quick reference sheet, here's what I would recommend that you do. Under the carrier phone numbers tab,
Yeah.
this number for American General, this is AIG. AIG is American General.
Mhm.
Call this number, 1-800-247-8837. Click the prompt for contracting and appointments
Mhm.
and ask them for a status update on your approval.
Okay.
And they'll let you know where you're at.
Okay.
All right. But that has already been requested for
Thank
you.
you. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Spencer.
Yes.
Okay, my question is that if you are following up with a client because they're busy and you schedule an appointment, let's just say a day or two out, what I have been doing is sending an email the day before as a appointment reminder.
Yep.
And then I also let them know that I will be texting them in the morning to verify that appointment, trying to eliminate them not picking up the phone. Is there anything else that you would recommend besides that?
That's really good. Honestly, that's probably the most you can do. Something that your phone system does for you is essentially exactly that automatically. So let me show you exactly how that works. When you schedule an appointment on your Google Calendar, all right, so if you haven't done this yet, and Tom, I know you already have your phone system set up, click on your Google Calendar, add your Gmail account in here, and then when you have a new appointment, add them right in here, and you'll see that it has an option for reminder, and you'll check that, and then you can do 60 minutes before, 120 minutes before, whatever the case may be, and it's going to automatically send out a reminder text message, which this account doesn't have all of the drip marketing that your account will have, so I don't necessarily have it to show you here, but there is a reminder text that, let me see if I can find an example for you. It's not saved on this computer, so I can't. But what will happen essentially is once your account is set up, as yours is, Tom, 60 minutes before, 120 minutes before, whatever you set it as, they'll automatically get a text message, and they'll automatically get an email reminding them about that appointment. And that's really the most that you can do. If that person is interested in speaking with you, that's really the best. Trying to think about tactics that I've used to really solidify whether or not someone is actually interested or they're just trying to blow me off, because sometimes they're, you catch them and they're like, well, it's not really a good time, call me back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then you schedule the appointment. That isn't always going to cue you in on how much interest there really is with that person. So I might ask a follow-up question of something along the lines of, is there any specific insurance? I'd try to ask a personal question. Is there any specific insurance company that you want me to take a look at for you? When I talk to you tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I want to try to have, as much information available for you right away from the beginning, so that I'm well prepared for our telephone call. So is there anything specific you think I should know right now to help prepare me for that phone call with you? Is there any carrier that you had in mind? Is there a specific benefit amount that you were looking for? I would try to get a little bit more information from them and, try to gauge from them based upon those responses, how serious they are about actually getting a quote from me. But what you're doing as far as sending out a reminder email, sending out a reminder text message, that's perfect. That's absolutely what you want to be doing. Just be mindful that your system, as long as you use it properly and you schedule the appointments inside your calendar, it's going to do that stuff for you automatically as well.
Okay, that's something I'll have to go over with Derek.
Mhm.
My other question, I guess, is if you're chasing somebody,
Mhm.
how long do you chase somebody? He says, okay, I need to think about it. All right, go home, do whatever. You're already at home.
Yeah.
And you call, you leave a voicemail, you text. I mean, I do both on every call. I leave voicemail and I text.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, how long do you do it? I mean, I've been chasing a guy now for a couple of weeks, and it's about, hey, time to, get off the pot one way or another kind of deal.
So I would chase somebody for up to a month.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So I've got somebody that's within that month period. So, and I call them every day. So it's kind of like, and text them every day.
Yeah. So, if you've quoted somebody and now they're kind of ghosting you, you have to ask yourself a question and try to think over the conversation you had with them. Did you quote them something that maybe was just too expensive? And, they were polite and they said, yeah, let me think about it. But in reality, what's really stopping them is they just can't afford this. And that's why they're ghosting you. Was there a trust issue there? So, as opposed to just calling and leaving a voicemail saying, hey, I'm following up, you might want to get a little bit more in depth with this person when you send those text messages and emails. I might say something along the lines with, hey, haven't heard from you in a little while. I just wanted to double check. Was that plan, more than you were looking to spend? Do you want me to look for another option? I want to earn your business here. So, honestly, what's holding you back from moving forward with the plan? And I might send him an email that, has a link to my quoting software. So remember this thing you have as well. There's a link right here, right? You can put that link into an email or a text message to them and say, hey, if you want, take a look at some of the other carriers and options that I have. And if you find something else that maybe is better suited for you, let me know. These are all the carriers that I can offer, and then give them a chance to shop themselves. Because again, if you quoted somebody and you feel like you had a good conversation with them and they just said they need to think about it, there's something else going on here that you just didn't get exposed during that conversation. And so now they're just kind of shutting you out. And so you got to find a way to get your foot back in the door. And, again, it's probably going to take, a little bit more creative follow-ups than, hey, I'm calling you, you haven't picked up yet. I'll try again tomorrow. And then keep calling and texting. So I would just get a little bit more creative on those follow-ups and use these tools that you have. Let them quote themselves again. Let them know you have other options. Maybe email them, hey, listen, I wanted to give you a sense of exactly who I am and that I am, a professional licensed agent. Here's a copy of my insurance license in your state for your review as well. That's a trust builder. That's a credibility builder. Because at this point, I don't think you know what it is. Is it price? Is it trust? You need to figure out which one it is. And since they won't give you the time of day, now you got to assume it's both and try to speak to both of those things.
Well,
Okay.
I know it came down to medical issues that were going on
Yeah.
that he was incurring along with, and
Mhm.
he just had a birthday. So I know the numbers I quoted him before
Yeah.
are not valid anymore. So I said, hey, your numbers have changed. Let's
Yeah.
get together and just kind of review again.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, at this point, we need to figure out, is this a money issue or is this a trust issue? That's what you need to figure out right now. And maybe use those two factors I just mentioned right then and there.
Okay,
me-
but
Mhm.
sorry, Spence, real quick.
Mhm.
But when I've been going through it, I normally try to give them three separate ones. I have them write it down so it's physically in front of them,
Yeah.
and then say, okay, which one best fits your budget? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, with the idea that later on, if you want to add to it, you can, or if you need
Yes.
to decrease it because of situation, you have those options. So
Mhm.
I leave that with them so that that door is open to where they realize they can either go up, down, or pick the middle, or exactly whatever they want to do.
Yeah, then maybe it's a trust issue, or maybe they're just not seeing the value. Do you feel like they understand the need or why they would need to have this plan?
Yeah, the need was there. So I know the
Needs there.
need was there. And I
Needs
mean, I know that he trusts me because for the first like 2 weeks, he was picking up the phone religiously every day
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. But then it's kind of fallen off. But I also know that they were having some major medical stuff going on in their world too.
So that's a possibility as well. It sounds like you've, kind of checked all the boxes here. If there was trust there, again, I'd send them over a copy of my license with a nice friendly email. I would send them over that quoting link as well. And then I would maybe send a message that says, hey, let me know one way or another if this is something that you're interested in. I don't want to bug you if you're dealing with something right now.
I did that one too. I left that
Yeah.
message. So, okay. All right. Well, you're kind of double checking everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it sounds like you're being pretty thorough. Those are the tools that you have. Build the trust with the license. Try to address the budget issue by letting them quote themselves. Let them know they have more affordable options. And then, the friendly message of, hey, I'm not trying to bug you. I know this was something you wanted to get taken care of. Let me know either way if you want me to continue to reach out.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Spencer, I have a question for you real quick. Let's talk about security and sending your license to people that you've never met either. Is that a real secure way of doing something? So you can send them a picture of your license with your NPN number on it. What's the chance of somebody using that information against you? Stealing your identity, let's say.
They'd be hard pressed to do anything with your license number.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would throw out there is, you're giving somebody your entire name, your legal name, your
Mhm.
producer's number. And of course, anybody can look you up. They can do that whenever they want to do it. They can just go right to NIPR and
It's not
look up
private.
whatever they want. But I would just, I would caution a little bit if somebody's automatically asking for your license number, they may have ill intentions. But yeah, it is definitely a confidence builder towards the conversation of, I just need one more thing to prove that you're a real person. I think one thing about us calling them is that we are from the United States.
Yeah.
We all speak fluid English.
Right.
People are just tired of people calling from India and can't understand the word they're saying.
Exactly.
We've all been down that road before.
Yeah.
And that's half the confidence right there in my eyes. All you got to be is their son-in-law or their son or whatever, daughter or whatever. That gives you half your confidence.
Right.
So
Yeah.
no,
I
I'm sorry.
I understand the concern on giving out the license number, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. To be
All right.
perfectly honest with you, anyone who's trying to steal that information, they're already going to be savvy enough to know they can just go to nipper.com and get that information anyway. It's public information.
Okay, fair
Uh,
enough.
None of that information is private.
And now this CRM, that's all the Ringy CRM. That's all one thing, right? So it's once we get into that CRM, get everything set up, we control everything pretty much through that, right?
Correct. Yeah, there's
Very
only
nice.
2 logins you're going to need to have. You're going to have the Ringy CRM login. That's your phone system and your lead management system. And then you're going to have the insurance toolkit login for your quoting.
And that's why it'd probably be nice to have 2 separate computers, correct? So we can kind of run the Ringy on one computer.
Yeah. 2
Oh.
separate screens. One is your CRM. One is the toolkit, and then maybe have the script printed out.
Gotcha. And that's exactly what I'm gonna have mine set up. So perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else got anything on their mind? Okay. All right. Well, this is probably a good stopping point then. I want to just one more time, I want to